What's up everyone, welcome back one more time. You know the deal, we play historic Brawl and today we are going to play with Niv-Mizzet per rune. Niv-Mizzet is a 6 mana in the Izzet colors 5/5 legendary creature dragon wizard. It cannot be countered and it has flying, of course it's a dragon. And when we draw a card, Niv-Mizzet deals 1 damage to any target, so we ping things anytime that we draw a card. And when a player, opponent or us, casts an instant or a sorcery spell, we draw cards. So that's kind of a feedback loop in which we draw cards and then ping them, cast instants, draw cards, ping them, and you see where this goes. This is a very sweet commander, very powerful commander. This is at the top of the tier in historic Brawl, so we should expect to play against very good commanders as well. So what do we have to make Niv-Mizzet work? Well, we are playing Brainstorm, just to draw multiple cards, consider to draw cards. Curiosity, you know this goes as an infinite combo with Niv-Mizzet. We put this on Niv-Mizzet, and anytime that we are able to ping with Niv-Mizzet, this starts a infinite loop in which we deal damage to opponents and draw a card. And because we draw a card, Niv-Mizzet pings them, and because of the pings them, we draw a card, and that's the infinite loop, and we win the game. There's Fading Hope to bounce things, and Scry Ops to keep drawing, and Summon to control the board by bouncing things. Wash Away to counter stuff, Faithless Looting to draw cards, filter over draws, Lightning Bolt for a bit of removal, Anticipate to set up our draws and try to find our action. Brawl makes us instants or sorceries cost less and just rewards us for countering things on that the opponent plays. Ledger Shredder, just an amazing value engine to keep drawing cards, conniving and fueling up Niv-Mizzet. Memory Lapse, brutal counter spell, negate to deal counter, search for Ascanta to filter our draws and also to flip into Ascanta the Sunken Ruin that can find us action later in the game. Strategic planning to also find our action. Tail Send to counter something, presumably a commander, counter spell, lightning strike, smoldering egg. If this is in the battlefield and we're able to get 7 counters on it, then it will flip and it will ping the opponent for 2 or any creature for that matter, and just close the game. Electromancer to reduce the cost of our spells. Sprite Dragon as a growing creature that can be a very big threat. Arcane Signet and Cold Steel hard to ramp. Smashing as a dual as a land or a spell. Midnight Clock to also ramp, but to refuel when we complete the 12 counters. Mystical Dispute, Tome of the Infinite. This is very nice because it conjures many cards from its spellbook and a very cheap cost. Waybreak Hippocamp to reward us for countering stuff at the opponent's turn, and this makes us draw a card. Brazen Warlord to bounce and attack in the air. So it coming. Sinister Sabotage to counter. Archmage's Charm as a very flexible counter spell. Gutter Snipe to reward us for playing instants and sorceries. Maybe sometimes this pinging is very good to close the games. Valakut Awakening is a land that can also allow us to draw cards. Anger of the God and Sweltering Suns to battle against aggro decks. Ionize for more counterspell, a little bit of pinging, extra pinging. Prismatic Command, very flexible, deals damage to any target. It can make us draw cards, create treasures, or destroy artifacts. Royal Science as a very good value Planeswalker. Chromatic Lantern and Celestus to ramp us, but also fix us. Especially Chromatic Lantern, we need to cast Niv-Mizzet. You see here, he is 3 blue and 3 red. Then there is Archmage Emeritus that whenever we play a instant or sorcery spell, it draws a card, and we should be able to trigger this multiple times. Memory Deluge for extra card draw. Manaform Hellkite to create tokens with haste out of our instants or sorceries, or in fact non-creature spells. We have the Stormwrath to control the board even more. Crackling Drake as a very big threat that gets compensated, and it grows with our instants and sorceries going to the graveyard or exile, but it also draws us a card when it enters the battlefield. So it does a little bit of everything that we want to see. Key to the Archive to find very good spells from its draft book, but also ramp us further and get us close to Niv-Mizzet. Imrith that is very difficult to remove. It's a very good threat on itself and allows us to even draw cards in the late game. Time Warp for extra turns. Burn Down the House to either wipe the board or create a 3/1/1 Devil creature tokens. We have in the last slot Shark Typhoon to cycle into something, or to cast as an enchantment and make sharks out of our instants or sorceries. We have discovered the formula to find action and reduce the cost of our spells in hand. Flood of Tears to bounce back things to opponents and our hand. Reverse Rebuke to just do that, but for the opponents. Sublime Epiphany, a multiple purpose counter spell that can copy things, bounce things, and just do multiple stuff. Hullbreaker Horror is another thing that gets very, very good with our little cantrips, our little removal spells, and just very efficient for in our deck. Jinky Taxes to doubling up our instants and sorceries, but also countering whatever the opponent is playing. At least the first spell, the first artifact, instant, or sorcery. And finally, Seagate Restoration to draw cards or be played as a land. Mana base, all of the dual lands, and just a couple of utility lands, but very straightforward mana base. This is Niv-Mizzet, and we are going now to the games. Here we go. Round 1, going up against the Goblins. Long time no see, Moxes. Long time no see. We are playing Niv-Mizzet. Opponent goes first, but hand looks pretty nice. Opponent with the Fireblade Charger. We will play the island and pass. Holding up Unsummon. Opponent with the Scur Prospector. They're playing. Looks like they're playing Standard or Explorer here, or Historic, whatever. They have the Prospector into Mox's hand, so I think we have to delay that. But we can do that under Upkeep. Alright, Seagate Restoration. So I think we need to work towards the Archmage's Charm. And the way to do that is to play this tapped. And just put a stop in their upkeep. And here I think that we need to go and summon, make them recast that, lose a little bit of tempo, and then we will hold Archmage's Charm. Alright, so that's not happening right now. I think here we could go Smoldering Egg, right? And then hold. And then hold the Charm activation. Yeah, so we have one more turn now. They'll attack us. We block there. Alright. So now I think I can. No. I have to hold. I have to hold. Opponent with the Ruin Blaster. You're gonna destroy our Archmage's Charm. And what do we do? Let's see what they target. Alright. So what's the plan here? You can sacrifice anything. Alright, so let's draw 2 cards. Because I cannot capture anything just because they will sacrifice whatever I steal. And yeah, we need something better than that. And now we're totally lost to the Goblins. Nice build by the Goblins. I mean, very good. So we are getting punched for 1 million. We were not fast enough. Are they sacrificing the entire board just to play Moxes? Well, hoping a whiff here. Hoping for a whiff. That's not a whiff. Too good. Look at the goblins go. Love it. I love it. Good game. Good game. Alright, here we are for another round with Niv-Mizzet going up against Yawgmoth, Mono Black. And we goes first, and hand looks very good for this matchup, so we will keep. Started playing the tap land, and go. Opponent with a Swamp, a Nesting Shambler. We draw Pathway, we will play the island, and say go. Shambler attacks for 1, and we hold now the Archmage's Charm, but I think we are trying to work towards our bigger stuff, so I'm happy to hold onto that, just to play the Midnight Clock. That gets us closer to discover the formula, to burn down the house, Niv-Mizzet. Opponent with disenchantment that says when it dies, it returns to the battlefield. Alright, we draw the opt. So we will pass a turn. Start the clock ticking. Opponent pings us for 1. Passes, so we will now opt. Trying to look for a land. Find the Gather Snipe, and I think I like to Archmage's Charm, draw 2. There's a Fabled Passage, so now we can go Fabled Passage, crack it, search for red, and we win. We come back for another round with Niv-Mizzet. We are going up against Halana and Elena. Rule aggro. Opponent goes first. Our hand looks fine. We should be able to find more lands. I don't know if that's going to be enough to delay what they are trying to do. We will try it. We have a temple. We can scry one. Try to find the land. Opponent with a temple as well. Scries to the top. We will go Temple of Epiphany and hope to hit a land next turn. And they have a Menagerie Curator. So we will go like this, and instead of considering, we will search for a Scanta. This fixes our future draws. Now they can play Halana and Elena. We are hoping to find our land drops. Alright, Chromatic Lantern and a Spirit Sentinel. We will draw the island and wait. So what do we do here? Do we bounce whatever they play? Do we counter it? Equipment, Fiend Slash. Sure. We don't care about this. We will anticipate and consider. So let's first anticipate. Put 1 in our hand. So Hullbreaker Horror. I think you're very, very slow. So we will take the pathway. And then consider Terramorphic Expanse. We have to keep that. And an Arcane Signet that we will also keep. So how do we do it? We play the pathway. think I just expanse, crack this for a red source. Play the Signet and hold up Brazen Borrower bounce spell. Alright, Halana and Alena is coming to the battlefield, so we will return that to their hand. Get attack for 2. Castle Vantress we will keep. And now we can go Castle Vantress, strategic planning, get a lightning bolt. And pass. Alana and Alena, we will saw her coming. And we just pass. Okay. Then I think I like to bolt their curator, but we can do that with Niv-Mizzet up. More lands, it's okay. Transform a Scanta. We can play the mountain, play Niv. And just pass. Opponent with a forest. Should be difficult for them to kill Niv just because of the... Well, they could have one of these fight spells. But we have the Bolt, so Thundering Raiji, that's alright. So we can deal with that before it becomes a problem. So let's do this and ping them. Yeah. Too much value. Too much value. Good one. We're back for another round with Niv-Mizzet going up against Kenan. Well, we are going to need removal. Opponent goes first. We have the Prismari Command. Very tapped lands. Brainstorm. Brainstorm with Fable Passage. I think I like that. Prismari Command. We need to deal with Kenan. We need a better hand. This is not better at all. This has more lands. Well, now I'm missing our prior hand. Well, counterspell is good. Negate? Not so much in this game. Alright, Temple. Fair Dry Steward. We have to go Island. Hold up counterspell. Opponent with a Heraldic Banner, which we will counter. Flood of Tears could be very interested in this game. So I think we had to do Soken Sun, Chromatic Lantern need to consider. And these gets us closer to Flood of Tears. There's a Kenan. Resolves. And oops, woof. We accidentally passed our turn. That was not very good. That was not very good at all. We can go Guildgate, Gutter Snipe, and next turn we can Flood of Tears. Flood of Tears requires 4 of our permanents to be bounced to our hand, so we can put something into our hand. Well, but we will have to do it this way. They are stuck at 3 lands, which is very good for us. Alright, opponent, what's next? Now we will consider ping them for 2. Archmage's Charm, I like that, so I will draw Archmage's Charm. For Brawl, we can go Sulfur Falls, Flood of Tears, ping them for 2, pick up your cards. Alright, alright, alright. So now they have to set up again. Growth Spiral to search for a land. And we win this one. Very nice.